What's up, everybody? I'm Novo coming at you with another one. So, we got those red candles we were expecting, major sell off. Optimism has now become pessimism. A bit of panic, and the dip buying has commenced. Going down to lower time frames, we can see that the shorters are heavily coming in. Every time we hit the 200, there's a short and a drop, another short and a drop, and now we've got resistance on the 20. So I think possibly further lower pressure. A couple days ago, the selling pressure was far outweighing the buying pressure. We were looking at, over $100,000 share bids at multiple price points, a couple half millions, a couple millions, and it just said, disaster, pushing down, high sell pressure, and now we're looking at potential buying now. So we've got all this pressure. We're on the downside. Now we're looking for support levels as we head into higher time frames. On the 3 minute, we went below the 350 here, resistance, and now it looks like we're starting to push down again. On the 5 minute, below the 200, and the 350 sitting around 44. I like that. Down around there is a little more comfortable for me. I'm sure that there'll be another bounce somewhere. There's the 100 on the 15, so that could be the argument of the day traders. Death cross about to happen on the 20 and the 50 for the 15 minute. 350 down around, sorry, that's the 111 down around 45. Again, I'm more happy in the 40s. 200 at 41. That's looking more healthy. That's probably the best price point that I like right now. On the hourly, the 50 is sitting around 42. Again, corroborating my argument. And with this intersection here on the GAN box, I thought we were going to possibly be heading, where is it? Sorry, let me just triangulate here. Right about there. This may be off, but the wick almost touches there. And on the half day, just squaring off, just off the previous top is where I'm gauging things. I think the 20 is approaching the 40 something cent range, 42, 42.5. So somewhere around this zone may be the balance. And then we'll head for the 0.5, which will be 62 cents. This may be our ABC wave, right? So don't panic. We may see down bounce up to 50% and then come back down. That'll be your B, and then our C, and then hopefully we'll be above this, showing some confidence that we will start to consolidate again and then head off above $1. This might be a $10 stock, but right now we can't say that because we're under $1, and I got no idea where this thing is going to go. Looking at level 2, where are the support structures in level 2? 50 cents, we've got about 600,000 waiting. 52, we got about 700,000 waiting. And around 55, we've got about 370,000 waiting. So it's starting to look a little more bottom heavy. They're starting to step up. The ask, $250,000 pushing down around 58, $250,000 just under at around 60, and then the rest is like, I don't know, 50,000, 35,000, yada yada yada. But I think there's a lot more ask stepping in at lower uh, positions now. So that's 600,000 at 50, and that's 740 at 52. That may be the bounce that comes up to test a dime to the upside. And then I could be wrong, but I think that's going to be our resistance and we continue down, right? Like, look at all of this pushing down. So I don't think there's enough bidding down here for us to just shoot up and head straight up again. I just don't see it. So if we compare that to what happened here, let's zoom in and pretend that this is this week, right? We had nice one. We had this guy, and I'm pretty sure the third day probably we opened, we headed up, made it look like it was the bounce, and then the third candle just brought everything back down, right? So I think that's what we're going to see, and then we'll see the resistance, and then if we see a higher low, that might push us up to test a little bit more, and then giving up the ghost, that'll be enough time for us to break out of a triangle. So we're waiting for another triangle to form, essentially. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Trade safe. I think there's some interplay that's got to play itself out before we carry on over the grand scheme of things to the upside. It was just too much, too fast. Um, delete. And actually, this one arrow, just to say what I'm thinking here. Like, if you see that, if I see price somewhere along here, I think that we'll possibly see growth to the upside again. Let me delete this stuff, see if anything else jumps out. Try a GAN fan real quick. What are we at? 7 minutes. So I don't know. This thing shot up way too quick. There's the 1/2. There's the steady 1-to-1. And the major support for a move like this. Ooh, excuse me. Just woke up, right? Major support would probably be down around this trajectory here. So just too much too fast, like I said. And I mean, congrats to everybody that got up almost around $1. Hopefully your stops were triggered and you're ready to compound down here. But I think from 50 to 40 cents is where I would start nibbling. I think we still have a lot more chance for downside. So that is it. And if you do start nibbling and this starts to run away, I would definitely keep an eye on that 60 mid 60s range to see if you see resistance coming back down. And this quadrant right there is what we need to break out of. So if I were to use a arbitrary triangle, that's the zone I'm looking at to see if we break out. And then after that, we'll probably see the next triangle form. I don't know if we'll come up and hit this high. I think it'll be more like grind and then maybe hit here along whatever vector this happens at. And then that'll become possibly the new triangle. Paintbrush this. Yeah. So, we may come up and then we'll hit and then maybe do one of these and then maybe hit a higher point again. And then maybe go into my buy zone before we start to head off again. It'll be probably be something like that. It's going to feel like it wants to do the opposite of what we want, right? The banks know what they're doing. We just got to anticipate what they're doing and what the herd is doing and do the opposite of the herd. So right now it's sell off territory and get ready for accumulating, not going Texas Hold'em. So what do we got before I sign off at around 10 minutes? The major bid's at 52, about 750,000. And I think that'll get gobbled up, and then we'll probably go down around 50 cents, which is about 600,000. And I'm hoping that that gets gobbled up. Further down pressure, down around the mid 40s to mid 30s. And then I'd probably take a position and then sit and wait this argument out and hopefully continue to the upside. So that's my thoughts on ACDC. And then hopefully we will be back in black. Trade safe.